Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for coming back to join me. I'm starting a new project. So my friend Amy, Crafty Cat, and I are both using one of Amy's kits, and that's her new autumn kit, and it's called Autumn 1910. And we're both going to use it at the same time, so you can have a watch, both of us, and see how differently or not we both use the kit. I say or not because Amy and I, when we did Sherlock Holmes and Entirely Bonkers, we worked on the same kits at the same time. We were doing similar things but not knowing it. So it's quite bizarre the way that we work sometimes. But it's great fun using a kit with somebody else at the same time just to see how we use it. And I think there's others that might be using it as well. So look out for those. So where have I got to? So what I have done is I haven't put a cover together, but I'm kind of thinking this is going to be my cover. This is a piece of quilting that it's some quilted hexagons that I did a while ago, and I've kind of put them together and I've just pegged it just to give me a rough idea of what it might look like. So I don't know what you think of that for a cover. It could go this way or it could go the other way round. And I've just put this darker fabric there in the middle, thinking that I might use that as the inside because I thought it kind of went well. So I don't know, but that's what I'm kind of thinking at the moment. So thoughts on that, answers on a postcard. So Amy's kit is beautiful. It's when I looked at her looking at the pages of her new kit, hers look different colours to mine, and I guess that's how our different printers work. So mine's come out quite bright, which I like. So I'm really excited to use it. I've kind of thought about putting fabric ruffles on it, and I've kind of thought about where I want to place them, and I've done that kind of every fifth page. Not set in stone. I don't know if that's where they'll end up. I love this paper. I've printed mine on, I think it's called a linen paper. I'm in the UK. I got it from Hobbycraft, and it's kind of a cream paper. I didn't want to use white paper with it because I wanted it to be kind of mellow for autumn, and I like the way it's printed it. I've used some of Amy's kits on the back, so I've used her Alaskan papers. I think I've used a couple of Spilling Tea. I think I've used something from her 1920 something. So I've kind of looked at what papers have got, what kits I've got that have like the grungy, autumny kind of feel to it. Sorry folks, I'm still getting used to this using hubby's iPad, and I think the camera is in this corner here and I'm used to it being in that corner there, so I keep going that way, so bear with me. I've used some Edith Holden and I've made that a flap, and I've took the September pages. This is from an Edith Holden, I think it's a birthday book, so I've kind of used that. I've put a little pocket there. I was just playing. I couldn't help myself. Beautiful images, that gentleman there. I've got this big window envelope. I can't remember what it came or what came in it. 2022 benefit information inside. No idea. Oh, I think it's one that somebody sent me. So Teresa, I've got a feeling this is an envelope that you sent me because we don't get such beautiful big envelopes here in the UK. But I can just see down in this corner it says United. So I think that's one that Teresa sent me. But I thought that looked nice. When us in the UK, when we print an American kit, UK paper size is different to ours. I have to shrink it to fit because otherwise I lose the top of the image. So you don't have to if you don't mind losing the top and the edges of the image, but I shrink to fit, which means then I get a border at the edges, which I'm fine with, and I'm not going to cut those down shorter. I'm going to cover those bits, the strips, so they will disappear as we go on. More of the Edith Holden, Amy's beautiful papers. I've tea dyed a piece of blue paper because I thought it looked nice against the the dress of that lady. So I've put a blue paper in there. Again, beautiful images. It's lovely. So you can see what I'm thinking with the ruffles. I don't know that that's where they're going to stay. It's what I'm kind of thinking at the moment. So like, for example, this one, if I didn't shrink it to fit, I'd cut off the top of her hat. I know the top of her hat's missing anyway, but it is on the kit. Or not missing. She fits the full page. But if I printed it without shrink to fit, it would kind of cut all the top of that hat off, if you see what I mean. I'm sure you do. Some more Edith Holden. I just like this Edith Holden. It's got such lovely comments and quotes and things in it. And if you don't like it, you can paper over it. Get the wallpaper out, paper over it. Some more of my tea-dyed papers. This was on a cream paper. Vellum. This is from Amy, but it is her Fall is in the Air, which is her autumn kit from last year. That's a piece of batik, and I just loved that. It just reminded me of all these trees. But as I say, not set in stone. It's just kind of what I was thinking. I found a piece of handmade paper with little brown bits in. So that's gone in. I've just shoved everything in, haven't I? And that's the paper that I was thinking of for the lining. So you can kind of see the way I'm going. The beautiful Alaskan papers again. So this is where I'm at, folks. The Alaskan paper, I think, goes really well with this kit. I think that might be 1920 something. I get confused easily. But they're just beautiful. So that's where I'm at. That is where I am at. So what would I like to do? I've got a few things. I've fussy cutted, is that a word? All of Amy's little people out. Took me ages, Amy. I'm not very good at fussy cutting, but I have cut them all out. I found a couple of frames that I might like to use, so I've put them in there. I've made a few fabric clusters, just with snips that I've got left over from all different, am I in screen? I'll keep checking, little bits and pieces, so I'm just put them in there. I've got Mrs Cogs Autumn Days that I've printed as well, so I might well use those. Still undecided, but I think I probably will. What else? So I've got Amy's kit Fall is in the Air. Oh, and I've got little bits that I've made previously. I made a couple of these. I think I've got a few in here, and I'm kind of thinking that they might go. I know this one may not seem autumny, but she is dressed of the time. So that's around 1910. Oh, sorry, I'm too high. 1910, 1920s. So, and I love that image. And I'm kind of thinking I want to use it. And I've got a couple of others with people on. And I think if I use that and one of these, maybe him, then I think it would fit with the journal. I made this a while ago, so it's like 3 pockets. 3 of them, and it says Cincinnati Fall Festival, so I think that's quite appropriate. That might go in. I found this that I made ages ago, and it's like a kind of a little ephemera holder, so it's got little pockets of tracing paper, so, and it fits a page, so I thought that might be quite nice to go in and be a pocket. And it's got the mushrooms on. Love mushrooms. See, it's a shame though to stick it in on a page, because it's got those on the back, but it could, I don't know, I don't know. I'm at that point, I never know when I start a journal. I just kind of get things out. I found a couple of butterflies that I had as pockets. I found a little bit of Edith Holden. The swallows fly south from the UK for winter, so I've got a couple of those. I've got a couple of tags that the backgrounds are too pale on those because they're white, so I don't think they're going to go, but I pulled them out anyway. And I've got this flower that I'd blotted inks, Tim Holtz inks onto it, and then I've done a die cut. And I was kind of thinking that might go either as a belly band or a side tuck, so I've kind of put that out as well. So I don't know. I know I'm going to say that a lot at the minute. I just don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm at, folks. So I want to just do a bit with you today. I want to use some, where can I put those? Shove them there. I want to use some envelopes. So I wanted an envelope. These are just brown craft envelopes that I get from Hobbycraft here in the UK. So I'd like to have that and decorate it. And I'm thinking I might like one on the back page as well. And have it as a flip with something, is what I'm thinking. So I've got 2 envelopes that I want to decorate. So shall we give that a go? I always find it difficult. I know there's an artist called Maremi. I think she does Maremi Small Art. And she does videos on breaking a blank page and how to start with something, you know, when you're faced with a blank page. And I think that's how I feel when I'm looking to start a new project. It kind of bewilders me a little bit. It bewilders me to put the papers together and to find what I can have with it, but I'm pleased with how this has turned out. And it bewilders me a little bit to get going and make the first thing, item, whatever, to go into a journal. So there we have it. That's my problems. So what am I thinking? I don't know. This is Amy's Fall is in the Air. And I'm thinking, when I was flicking through this before, you know you're not going to find it when you're looking for it, Carol. So I don't know why you're looking. Oh, that was the page. I think this is from Amy's Spooky Days or Spooky Past or Spooky Times. I can't quite remember. But I quite like that. And where did I put the kit pages? Where's that lady? Where's everything? There's that lady. I want her out. Sorry, oops, sorry. I'm everywhere at the minute, aren't I? Oh, and I've got Mrs Cogs Autumn Quotes as well. So you can see I've just delved into everything that I might have that might go. Amy's paper's just so beautiful. And I think in here there's one that I wanted to use. That's why I'm flicking. That's Fall is in the Air. That's Fall is in the Air. That's Fall is in the Air. But I think they go. Oh, I'm not going to find it, am I? It'll be the last one I look at. And it is. Wouldn't you know it? This lady here, I would like to put on the envelope. So, shall we make a start? I think I want that lady on that envelope there. I do think that indeed. Let's make a little bit of space. How am I doing keeping in frame? Maybe if I stand further this way. It sometimes is a struggle, you know. I struggle. I do struggle. That's my excuse and I'm just going to stick to it. So my thoughts are 2 envelopes and we'll have run out of time before I even get going at this rate. So how's everybody doing? I do hope that you're okay. All is good here in the UK. So I don't want that to quite fit the envelope. So 4 1/4 and 1/8. I don't know what that is in. Is that 4 3/8? It's maths. I don't do maths. It doesn't like me. And I thought she would make a lovely tall tag or a pocket. So I'm not getting rid of anything. I'm certainly not getting rid of Amy's papers. They are just gorgeous. So I'm thinking this here lady can go on that envelope there. And I want the bit of brown border around it because then it will show around the edge. And I think it's going to be a top loading pocket is what I'm thinking. And so I think I might need a darker ink than that. Yep, I do. That won't show on this. Oh, I thought I had a walnut stain and I haven't. I don't have a walnut stain. What does that look like? Oh no, that's almost black. You know when you think you've got something and then you find you hadn't. I was sure I had walnut stain. Oh well, if you haven't got it, you can't use it. What can I say? I should have done this bit before, but I'm just going to quickly just go around that edge. I just don't think you're going to see it very well. Never mind, it'll be just fine. Oops, I can throw it out the way. It's not showing really. Well, I suppose it is showing a little bit. I'm saying it's not showing at all. I think it is a little. I haven't got any re-inker. I suppose I really need to splash out and buy a couple of inks. But aren't they expensive? It's annoying, isn't it, when you think you've got something and you just haven't. Let's just go around the one I'm going to put on the back while I'm at it. It's colouring it a little bit. And I guess it doesn't really matter because that envelope's dark anyway, isn't it? Come on, Carol, you can do this. So hubby's away this weekend. For those of you that don't know, he does World War II reenactments. He's got his World War II Jeep, and he's just told me that what he would really like is a vintage 1940s motorbike. What he would really like is a World War II vintage Harley. I know he would. Yeah. So there we go. We don't have the money for that. Bless him. I wish we did. And then he could have one with the greatest of pleasure. I am going to put a little pencil mark on there, and I'm going to cut it just shy of that pencil mark. That flap is going to attach, so I want that on this right side. And she is going to go on there, and she is just beautiful. So that means I need to ink her. I've got a little bit of glue left in this one, so I think I'll do that. And I don't know how things will stick to the craft paper envelope. It seems quite, it feels sort of absorbent. I know when I was a kid at school, we used to use paper that was thicker than normal paper. It was always coloured paper, different colours, and the teachers would call it sugar paper. Now, I keep meaning to Google why it was called sugar paper, because you know what we did as kids when they said it was sugar paper. You sit there and you lick it. Did I just own up to that? You do. It's like my kids used to eat the Play-Doh. They do. Kids, don't we do funny things when we are children? I did anyway. I dare you to say that you didn't. What was the weirdest thing that you tried to eat when you were a kid? Go on, I dare you. I've owned up to it, licking sugar paper. I haven't got that dead straight, but it is on. And of course, when the glue sets, I will check for stickages. I wonder how close, I'm wondering whether to have that as a side opening. So if that goes on there, oh, isn't she beautiful? No, I'm happy that, I don't mind that I've got that bit there because it kind of frames it. I am going to cut it at the top, so that can be a top loading pocket. And I'm just looking at my little bits here, and I'm thinking if that's the top loading pocket, oh, what do you think? Can you see that? I've just fallen in love. Isn't it funny? Are we allowed to go that we like something that we're doing? Is that acceptable? I don't know. But I'm doing it. I love that. I just love it. Amy, this kit is beautiful. So that is going to go on there, and that is going to go there, and that is going to get cut at the top. Sorted. But I need to cover the back because it's going to be a pocket. And so, oh, sorry. And so, Where are those? And I can't pause. I'm really sorry, folks. I don't know how you pause a iPad. Oh, they're over here. There are some plein air papers in this that I think might look nice on the back to be like a writing paper. I've just seen this one with the mushrooms on. Blow the writing paper. It's going to have mushrooms on the back for sure. So I'm going to cut it there, I'm going to cut it there, and I'm going to leave that bit there for a minute. And I'm hoping that I'm staying on screen for you all. Shout at me if I'm not. I'm banging it with my head. Oh dearie me. I wish I was technical. I'm not. And I find it frustrating not to be technical, if I'm honest. I really do. You know, knowing how things work and how I can use technology to help me. Sometimes I do. Once I know how to do something, I'm off and running. Can't stop me. I do like that. It would be good if I'd had some, maybe some orange ink or an autumn pumpkin. Do they do a, oh, I bet Tim Holtz does a lovely pumpkin shade, but I don't, and I'm not worrying. I'm not. I've lost my envelope. There she is. Hey, beautiful lady. So that is going to go on there. And I need to seal this bit, so I'm just turning that envelope over. It looks like I need to trim it a little bit because I am going to put a crease here. Like that. And I'm going to I am going to, oh gosh, I'm feeling overexcited. Can you tell? You know, when I start a new project, I just get that kind of buzz feeling that I just want to get going with it, and I want it to be nice, and I want you guys to like it, and my brain's going a million miles an hour. It really is. I'm still wondering whether this lady would look odd in this journal, but I just love her. And it's kind of browns around there. So why can't she go in? Why can't she? Who says? The journal police are not out to get me, I'm sure. Well, they might be, but I can run fast. So I'm going to tuck that there and glue that bit in. And then that will still fold. And I think I need a snip off this edge. Just a cat's whisker. Talking about cats, I'm also planning to do a dog and a cat journal. Now I know I've used Amy's dog kit before, and I think it's called Dog Days, and she also has one called Cat's Meow. Where is she? Don't go upside down, lady. Right, that's the right way up. So I'm kind of thinking in my list of journals to do. I've been wanting to do it for a while. Oh, that's better. Oh, look at that. Right, so I need to stick this in. So what I'm going to do, yes, so I've been collecting doggy things. I'm not so good at collecting the cat things. But I have some lovely paper that I can fabric that I can use for the dog journal. Xander, thank you. It was you that managed to find a piece for me over in the States, and it's kind of it's dog's newspaper, and it's fabric that I've had before and I've used all up, and you can't get it in the UK now. Fabric designers, they do like a one-off roll, don't they, of fabrics. I don't know what you call it. And then once they're gone, they don't redo them every year, do they? I'm going to have to just put it on here and just have a look and see if I still like it. I do, I know I do. So she's going to go on there, and she's, am I in? Yeah, she's going to go on there, and that's going to go on there, and then that's going to flippity-do out there, and that's going to go on there. Yes, yes indeed. Yes indeed. So I need to glue this to here, is what I need to do. I'm looking for a piece of scrap paper. Can you believe up here I have no scrap paper? I have some. I do have some. I think it's a piece of card. My grandkids were over and they were gluing. So I want to put some glue on here. Conscious I don't want to put glue where I've just laid this, because if I do, that envelope will be closed shut, and I don't want to shut my envelope because I want it to be a pocket. So I'm just carefully, yeah, look, splodge, carefully putting this on here. So do any of you, do you get that excited buzz when you start a new project? You know, you're kind of excited to get your fabrics out, or your lace, or I don't have coloured lace. I was thinking whether I could try concentrating, my tongue's sticking out at the minute, folks. I wondered if I could try, can't get my words out, I'm that busy trying to do a straight line of glue. I wondered about trying to dye a piece of white lace with acrylic paint or inks or something. So I might try it, but I'm not always very successful with things like that. That's there. And you know, I keep looking at this on Mrs Cogs kit where it says Autumn Days, and I think I'm going to cut that bit out and use it. You know, if I keep bumping this thing in front of my head, please forgive me. I think I'm going to put Autumn Days. I'm not going to put page 3 of 3. I don't think you need to see that bit, do you? I can afford to cut a little bit more off there. You know, as you cut things too small though. There, look, Autumn Days. Yep. So that's another thing. I know I've got a lot of people who are new to journaling. So hi and welcome. It's a great hobby. I think it is anyway. But yeah, when you get a kit, some designers do actually put the title of the kit on the kit pages and use them. Absolutely use them. We're really sad, hubby and I, that autumn is here. We don't do autumn so well. We don't do the dark days, the long nights, the lack of sun. I like autumn. At the minute here in the UK, our September is being quite kind. We had a lovely week the other week. It was hotter than summer. Absolutely gorgeous. And I like those fresh mornings that you get where there's a certain smell in the air. That autumn smell. Lovely. But it's the knowledge that winter's coming. Although last year we treated ourselves. We bought a log burner. Fantastic. We've used it a couple of times last year because we had to, just to make sure it would fire up after it was fitted. So we're now madly searching for logs so that we can have the log burner on. Did I say I was going to cut it at the top? Well, I hope I did now. I hope that's what I said, folks. So that is going to be... Now you can see inside, I've got that little bit of white just there. I didn't really want that. Just dull it down a bit, that's okay. I've got brown finger now, haven't I? Didn't think of that one through, Carol, did you? And then I think I do want this on here. I definitely do. I don't want to put any bling on it. Should we just have a look and see if any of the others, if we think any of the others will go? No, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to put that on there. Do I want to put a notch? I think I probably do. About there. That's not bad for being quite near the middle. So there's going to be a journaling card or something going in there. That I am going to stick on there. Do I want the pink side there and the green? I think I want the green on the edge because I think that matches her hat nicely. This fabric was a vintage piece that I had, and I did do a book cover with it, and literally all I've got left is this width of what am I doing? Flipping it round. I've only got this width of this fabric left, and this is about the last snip. I've got two of these little, I'm giving myself the giggles. Come on, Carol, concentrate. I want to glue the top bit. That's what I was trying to think. Which bit do I want to add my glue to? I could stitch this on, except that would close part of my envelope, which is never good. You don't want to close half your envelope, do you? So I'm going to glue it on. I want that to come to the end, and I want that to cover to there. And I am very, very happy with that, how that one's turned out. So that will be pocket number 1. So that's going to go on there, and it will flip out like that, and you'll see the autumn days. And that, as I said, was from Amy's Fall is in the Air. And I will double check that this is all stuck down. And then on the inside, I will put a pocket or something here, so that I'll cut that envelope down. I won't need all of that on there. But that is number 1 done. I wonder if I can get the other one done. Where did I put the envelope? That's my next question. Not working very well, is it? My new setup's not working, folks, because I can't find anything. I have put all my project pieces in a tray. Aren't I the tidy one? I did go round. I did edge 2 envelopes, didn't I? Stop looking for it. You can't find it. It's gone. So I'm going to use this envelope. If I could pause you while I just quickly go round this, I would, but I can't. Does anyone know if you can pause a film when you're videoing on an iPad? Can you pause it? I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. So what I want to do, don't get rid of your sticky book. What I want to do is I want to put this on here, and I think I want to utilise this frame. So I think this was Amy's Spooky Past or Spooky Times or Spookies. So, but it's just the right colour for what I want to use it for, isn't it? Autumny. And I'm just thinking that might be nice on the inside, but I don't know. So this is going on the outside. And if I could remember, I said that was 4 1/4, so I want it an 1/8 short. No, 4 1/2. Come on, Carol, you nearly boobied then. 4 1/2, so I want it an 1/8 less, because I don't want it to go all the way to the edges. Oh, something sticky there. I'm guessing that'll be a bit of glue. And I want to use the corner, this corner. So that should be the right width. Oh no, look, I can't measure. Unsurprisingly, 4.5. What did I cut this out then? 4.5. Oh, you didn't look. There's 4.25 1/8. I got it completely wrong. Yep. Probably cut too much off now, but it doesn't matter because I like these envelopes anyway. So that is going to go on there like so. Wonky, Carol, completely wonky. Oh dear. It's a real struggle sometimes, folks, honestly it is. Right, roughly there. So I want to cut a little bit below my little pencil mark. Oh, I hope I've not cut. Oh no, I haven't. I thought I cut the wrong end of it off then. So that is going to go on there like that. And my thought, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is that's going to go on there like that. I want to put this lady on there so that she's like that. Hopefully you can see. And that I want that to be a side tuck and that to be a top tuck is what I'm thinking. So let's do it. Let's do it. Get me glue again. I knew this glue was running out and it just has done, but that's okay. Where's my wet glue? Hiding. And again, I just want to put the wet glue all the way around those edges, just to make sure the glue stuck. The glue stick. Envelope, a flap on the right, that's correct. I'm going to put that on there. There we go. Not quite perfect, but it's down now, so I might have to trim that slightly. Being careful not to trim the envelope. That would be a disaster, wouldn't it? So I'm happy with that. That's on there like that. It's quite shadowy this afternoon in here, isn't it? So then that, I'm going to be putting that on there like so. But I want to put something here that I think will also be a pocket. So I'm thinking I might put a pocket over this and something to make this so that it's closed somehow, maybe. But if it's on there, I don't see it, it kind of flaps open, so I don't know if I need it to or not, I don't know, but I want that to go on there like that because I like it, I just like it. And I'm thinking, I remembered I had some autumn leaves and I'm just wondering, I could put like a leaf on there, couldn't I? Oh, I don't think I like that. I don't think I like it. I thought I would. Oh, I like that one better. But then it would, you'd have to kind of it would get creased when you open this pocket, wouldn't it, if it was sticking out like that. I guess it could go further on there. It could go like that. Oh, I quite like it like that actually. But then it's attaching it. These never glue very well. So I think that idea might be going out the window. Gone out the window. I'm thinking I've got some more of this with my little snips. And I'm thinking that might work. I wanted that to go there. And then that would have to become, I think that would then have to become a top, because if I put a snip of fabric here, it means I can't use that pocket very well, doesn't it? Sorry if it's a bit dark, hope it's okay. But I quite like that. I do quite like that. I wanted it to go in the corner of this frame. I want to stitch round this, but not onto the envelope, of course. So I might need to think about that. I have got some little pumpkins. Do I need to make her into a pumpkin person? That could go on there, like that. Oh, so many choices. It's no good me asking you, because by the time you tell me, I'll have moved on and gone and done something else, won't I? There are some other pumpkins. Like there's a pile of pumpkins. But why would I have pumpkins on a lady? Answer me that. I don't mind that though. It looks quite nice through, when I look at it through the I don't like that one as much as that one. Got one the same as the one I used on the front. It could go there like that. Too much altogether then, isn't it? I don't want to cover that vintage up, isn't it silly? I don't mind that, you know, I really don't mind that. It's a bit too bright on that page. That's got the bright on it again. So I think I like the one I can't find anymore. I quite like that one. I do quite like that one, and I quite like the pumpkins there. So that might take me a little bit of thought. I do quite like that, and I could put some words maybe up there. See, my brain's thinking, it is thinking. One thing I did think that I wanted to do was on this pocket, you can't quite see me, on this pocket here. Gosh, I've been going 43 minutes. If you're still with me, thank you. I do think I've twaddled on quite a lot. We've got this dog that Amy's got, and I just think that guy is looking at his dog and saying, come on boy, here we go, going for off across the fields into the woods, chase those rabbits. I've got more pumpkins somewhere. I'm not a fan of fussy cutting, I have to say. But the little fella there could be hiding behind those pumpkins, couldn't he? And I think that's what I'm going to do there. They are going on there for sure. And I'm gonna lock them in, and I'm going to put that on now. I'm going to throw this glue away. I'm going to do a lot, aren't I? I'm so excited to see what Amy's doing. I think we're going to be completely different on this one. I really do. I'm just going to ooch him over there like that, because I'm going to try my best. What if I've got a smaller pumpkin? I'm sure there was a smaller pumpkin, you know. That might be a smaller one. I like it like that. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Sorry folks, it's painful, isn't it, sometimes? I do know that. But it's, you know, you get criticised when you do videos, you get criticised because you stop and think, but you know, it's not always that easy to kind of just go with the flow making a video when you're not ever so sure what you're going to do. I am going to lose a bit of those words, but hey, oh, pumpkin alert, stealing a pumpkin. And that one is going to go on there. And that little dog is hiding behind those pumpkins, waiting for his master here to give him a shout and say, let's get those rabbits, rabbit pie. There we go. So I'm really happy with that. That needs a tag or a journal card or something. Really happy with it. That flips out. I want to put a pocket here and the front. There we go. So that's my start. Amy, I hope you like it. I can't wait to see what you're doing. And I think she said Nancy is going to be doing one as well. So when I know, if I see that other people are doing videos using this kit, I will start and link them below. So if anybody wants me to link their video using Amy's Autumn 1910 kit, give us a shout and I'll link you below. Take care everyone. I hope you like it and I will see you next time. Bye.